Dime Dropper fam, what is up? What a day we have today. It is a special event. Chris Paul is back home, and we are here for his homecoming event at the Intuit Dome, exclusive to, I think, season ticket holders only or something like that. Obviously, I was invited because I still haven't renewed my Swell Pass, but I'll be doing that in the next week or so. But the thing that sucks is, so apparently they're doing a first 75 fans or first 100 fans to get the new Chris Paul jersey, get it signed by Chris. I'm going to do it. That's why I'm here early, but like, dude, I'm wearing a Lamar Odom jersey. Like, I wish I had my old Chris Paul jersey so bad. Like, oh man, sucks. But anyway, what can you do? Let's see how this goes. We're going to be definitely hearing from fans' thoughts about having Chris back and hearing from the man himself. CP3, welcome home, baby. Back home at the arena that Chris Paul and Blake Griffin built. They got this lady with the Chris Paul jersey. You got to love that. And of course, the man is home, baby. Ross, it's always great to see you. Special event. Chris Paul is home. What are your thoughts?
I'm just super excited. I was like dreaming of this, that he'd end his career here, and it's happening. And so I can't believe it. Chris Paul changed the franchise in a couple of ways. One, bringing a winning culture and respectability to the Clippers. And then the second one is he was in that era when we got Ballmer and we got rid of DTS. And that, to me, again, changed the franchise. And then some of the shots he just made as a fan, I remember watching him and like, oh, he shot it over three huge guys and it still went in. This is the difference between a good player and a superstar. And then just his passing. It's just, there's nothing more beautiful than a pass.
How did you feel about Chris these last couple of years when he wasn't on our team anymore?
Well, you know, he's one of those guys, like when he's not on your team, he's an irritant. Mm-hmm. But, you know, he's so competitive. No matter who he plays for, he's going to be competitive for.
I think that was it. I feel like I had another question. Oh, how much do you credit Chris Paul for where we are standing right now? You know, this vision of the Clippers being able to have their own arena. We didn't consistently sell out till Chris Paul and Blake. How special do you think it's going to be for him?
Well, I think with Ballmer, he would have built this anyway for the marketing. But I think he was the impetus to get the ball rolling to get here. And I think without that, we wouldn't have the fan base that we have. We'd still be in the diehard Clipper fan base who half of us used to bash DTS and then cheer for the Clippers. And that's all gone. Now it's just Clippers.
Excited for the event?
I'm super excited.
There we go. Thank you. All right, Jamal, first time in a Dime Dropper vlog. I can't believe it. But
Too long, man. Too long, man.
So Chris Paul's back, man. How do you feel about this?
It's kind of hard to put into words, man. A lot of us have been Clipper fans for so long. I vividly remember when he first signed. That whole little thing where we thought he was going to go to the other side and he ended up here. But what Chris Paul did was he legitimized what we were trying to do. You know, we were going somewhere when we got Blake and we got DJ, and we had a lot of young guys that kind of needed that direction, that seriousness, that instant credibility. And Chris Paul got here, and immediately we took off. Fell short of the goal, but you don't win 50 plus games every year without him. First team All-NBA, first team All-Defense, one of the best leaders in the sport ever. Yeah, it's really hard to put into words, man. I'm so glad he's back. And if you just look through the NBA, players of his caliber, it's really hard for them to retire in a place that they identify with, right? Like Chris Paul's gonna go into the Hall of Fame as a Clipper. That sounds crazy as hell.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
You were one of the more pro Chris Paul guys for the last couple of years. Even when he wasn't on our team, you've even gone as far as to say he's the greatest Clipper of all time.
Yes.
What makes you so strong in that take over Blake? Because to me, it's those two. I think everybody would agree.
So I think it's player for player. I don't think we have had a player as good as Chris Paul. Kawhi would probably be that guy, but he needs a little bit more in terms of availability. But those two, to me, are the best players. And then the greatest Clippers are Blake and Chris. And what Chris Paul brought year in and year out, the season that really did it for me was, don't quote me if I'm wrong, but it's 2014, 2015, where Blake missed a lot of time and Chris Paul just played 82 games and just led us into the playoffs. And to me, I was like, this is the guy, right? He is, to me, the more interchangeable guy. You can put whoever around him, he's going to raise the floor, ironically, in a way that James Harden does, right?
Yeah.
Where it doesn't really matter the parts around him. As long as that guy is in the fold, we're going to have a chance to be really competitive. No slouch to Blake, by the way. I don't really even argue if someone feels that Blake is the greatest, but to me, Chris Paul is on the short list of players of all time. He's top 30, top 35. So, I mean, Blake, Chris, you can't go wrong. I'm going to go with Chris.
Yeah, it's funny you said that 2015 season, because that next season's the one that Blake missed even more time, and Chris Paul carried us to that fourth seed. Last question, and I guess I forgot to ask you this, so I'll ask you this as well.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about our new team? You know, Brooke Lopez, John Collins. You know, we've retooled pretty nicely.
Yeah. I'm excited. I told my brother this the other day. I may be more excited than any other season other than maybe
2019-20 had to be.
2019-20. Other than that, because like we're coming into this year proven, right? We're coming into this year returning a top 4 defense. We're returning a 50-win team, and everybody is back. I'm not gonna go out and say like, oh, this is a championship team. But I'm also not going to say that's not, like, it's on the table. Everything is on the table this year. And it would be like some storybook shit, right? Chris Paul retires with a chip. But I really do like all the pieces. John Collins, we got a 4. That's something that we've been needing for a while. I remember how excited I was when we got Serge, so we could like finally have a backup for Zoo, and then his back went out. So to have Brooke as a backup, this is a guy that started 80 plus games on a playoff team last year.
Yep.
And I'm really excited for Bradley Beal to kind of rewrite the narrative. You know,
Almost forgot about Beal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But if you look at what Norm did, and the year before that what Paul George did, there's a lot of guys that eat next to James Harden, so I'm looking forward to Bill being extremely helpful. And yeah, I would be disappointed if we're not talking about us at top 4 in the West, something along those lines. I got us as 3. But yeah, it should be a great year. We retooled, All-Stars here, Chris Paul's last year. There's a lot to like, so I'm going to go top 3. I'm going to go top 3. Yeah,
top 3 seed, need it. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you? On the new team?
So last year I bashed Lawrence Frank a lot for a very imbalanced team, having 2 6'3" starters against bigger teams. You know, and I was here every game, and we were outsized every game. But this year is the most balanced team in terms of roster spots.
You think that we've ever had? I mean, I was thinking about this, and I was trying to.
Too deep ever. This is like, you know, one of the most every position, and so I am super excited. Every championship team, it deals with luck.
Yeah.
So if all the chips fall our way, it's possible. There are other teams who I wouldn't think are possible, but this one, you know, I'm not saying they're going to win the championship, but it is possible.
There we go. Appreciate you, Ross.
Thank you.
Ron, it's great to see you. Chris Paul is back. You're wearing his jersey.
Yeah.
How you feeling about it?
That's cool. I'm feeling really good, man. Lob City was some of the best memories from the Clipper days. Excited he's back. Excited for the nostalgia. But I think more importantly, I'm excited for like the leadership. You know, I think that's one of the missing elements in this team the past few years is really that like strong voice in the locker room. You know, you had Kawhi, who's a silent leader. You got James Harden, who's a leader on the court. But like, you really need that like leader in the locker room. I feel like
The vocal guy.
Yeah, exactly. Vocal guy. He's not afraid to get in people's faces, speak up when necessary, push guys. So I'm excited for that to see what that does for the team.
How did you feel about CP? I see you still have the jersey, so you didn't throw it out or anything like that. How did you feel about him those last couple of years? Of course, he played against us in the conference finals in 2023. But were you bitter at him?
I'm not gonna lie. When he first left, I was bitter, and then there was the whole hallway thing
Yeah.
when he came back to Staples, which didn't sit well with me. But you know, time heals all, so I can't hold it against him. And just excited that he's kind of coming back, and he chose to be right. He came back to want to retire a Clipper.
Yeah.
And to me, that speaks volumes about where the franchise was and where it is now, that people want to come back, a Hall of Famer wants to come back and retire as a Clipper. Like, that's never happened, right? For our franchise, and I think that just, like I said, speaks volumes about where we are now.
I talked about this, but with this move, Chris Paul is now going to have played for us longer than any other team he's ever been on.
Yeah.
Where do you consider him in the greatest Clippers of all time? First, second?
Ugh.
Even lower? I don't think anybody would put him lower than second, realistically,
No,
right?
I wouldn't put him second. I mean, I guess first is what, Bob McAdoo?
Okay, let's go LA only.
Okay, LA only?
'Cause I respect the dude.
Yeah. Then, I mean, he's up there. Like, Blake's number one in my
Right.
heart.
Same with me, probably because he never wanted to leave.
Exactly. And he's
Yeah.
homegrown product.
Yeah.
He was Mr. Clipper. He brought the excitement. But then definitely CP number 2. There's
Yep.
no doubt about that.
Excited about the season. You got a lot of new faces, big names.
Yeah, for sure. Huge names. Yeah, I'm excited. We got Brook Lopez, right? Holding
Awesome.
down. And like, who else we got?
Beal?
Bradley Beal, of course, right? So then we got, some good pieces, bigger depth. So I'm excited to see what we do on the court.
There we go. Nice to see you. Appreciate
good
it.
to see you, man. Thanks.
All right, my man. What's your name?
My name's Jason.
Jason. This is your first time on one of my videos, right?
Yep, big fan.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So you already got the Chris Paul jersey. So
Yep.
how you feeling about this?
Oh man, I'm feeling great. It's just I'm glad the point guard is home. I wanted him to come back for a while now since he got traded from OKC from Phoenix. I wanted him back as a Clipper, but we couldn't have the assets to do that back then. But I wanted him back for a while. So
When was your first year as a fan? Was it when we had Chris Paul? Before we had Chris Paul?
my first engagement as a fan was the Corey Maggette days.
Okay, so
that
even
was
before
that was
Chris-
my guy.
Even before Chris Paul, like
Yeah.
me. So someone that has the same kind of been a fan as right around the same time as me. What does Chris Paul mean to you? Because for me, he changed everything. He legitimized us as a franchise. Is it a lot of sentimental value for him to be back?
Oh man, it's amazing to have Chris back. He means everything to me. That was my childhood hero growing up. Like I wore CP3, everything CP3 tattoos, like jerseys, shoes, like it means everything. And just like John had said, like the fact that he wants to come home and retire with us, it just speaks volumes to who he is and how he feels about us and how we feel about him as well.
I'll ask you the same question that I asked him. How did you feel about him when he was gone? Since you said you were such a big fan, did you never have any bitterness towards him, really?
No, I did, especially with the whole beef that happened for a little bit. But I've always liked Chris. But of course, when we played them, I wanted to win. I always want to win. That's the main goal. But I have no hate for anyone. So
Greatest Clipper of all time, or second, or lower?
skill-wise, I'll say yes. But I got to give it to Blake because Blake is homegrown and he put us on the map with Chris.
Yeah.
So I got to give it to Blake. But I will say Chris skill-wise, yes.
Chris for second place?
Yeah, Chris
There you
second.
go. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Jack, it's great to see you.
Yeah.
Great
Chris-
to see you too, bro.
Chris Paul is back. How are you
So
feeling?
stoked. I'm very stoked. It's a nice little nostalgic reunion. Hopefully he doesn't have to have the biggest role. Hopefully he's mentoring the young guys. Maybe he creates another Shea. Who knows? Who knows?
So you see him as an 11th man?
Yeah, I like spot minutes. Be nice. I don't want Chris to fall out of the rotation. I need Bogey in there too, as long as he's on the team. That's $16 million.
Who do you think is going to be the guy that? Do you think Ty's going to play 11 guys when healthy, or someone getting sat out? And if so, who?
I think it might be CP sitting out. I don't think he's. I don't want to have to rely on him so much.
Is he gonna
at
be okay
this
with that?
Older age. It sounded like it from all the reports I heard. It sounded like he's cool with being that. Sometimes he's not going to play, and I don't have an inside track into the front office and how they're going to work and how Ty's going to, what his rotations are going to be. So what I would think. I mean, I feel like we probably need to move Bogey at some point then and get some more wing depth. We're a little guard heavy now. We just got Ty. I don't
He's
know.
not going to play though.
Yeah, but maybe Chris takes him under his wing and crafts him into our guard of the future. But at this point, or not at this point last year. Actually, at this point last year, there's no hope. At this, a couple months ago, before all these trades happened, or trades, I guess not trades,
You mentioned,
signings.
and the last time we saw you mentioned trading Norman Powell, and we did, and we got a 4. We did exactly what you said.
I mean, I was. It's me and what everyone else has been saying on Twitter for 4 years. It happened exactly like we wanted it to, though, so that was nice. And I don't know, I'm feeling hopeful. I know you have a healthy level of skepticism every year, which is warranted. We've been through a lot as fans of this team, but it's good to know that like every year like I can have like some bit of excitement going into the season. So I don't take that for granted. Like when you have the Wizards on the other side of the country, you're just in an eternal shit show. So it's like we don't make it as far as we want or as far as we should almost every year, but at least I think we have like a good time throughout the season. Like there hasn't been a bad season for a long time.
Yeah.
We've always overachieved to some level usually, and as long as I'm in the swell full time this year, so I'm just looking forward to just having fun watching this team, and then hopefully we do something big in the offseason.
Greatest Clipper of all time, Chris Paul, or second place?
I think he's got to take it.
All right,
Yeah.
appreciate that. It's on. Jaden?
Yep.
CP3's back? How you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm glad he's back. It's been a long time coming.
Did you ever have a bitterness towards him when he was gone?
No, I can't really blame him. I mean, I wasn't really wrong. At the time, I was in like, sixth grade probably at the time. But I was probably more of a Blake Griffin guy at the time when I first started with Clippers. So
Is
I
Blake?
can't really say much about him.
Is Blake? You think the greatest Clipper of all time?
He's definitely up there. Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Jaden.
Yeah.
Jason came through with the Chris Paul jersey. Gotta love it. This was my favorite jersey actually that we've ever worn, the alternate blue. So we'll take that. Jay, it's good to see you. Got the Chris Paul jersey on.
Yep,
How
got
does
a
it-
Chris Paul jersey on. It's my first time since I was 16 years old. For reference, I turned 25 in 2 days, so it's been a little
Wow,
while.
your birthday and my birthday are pretty close.
Yeah, yours is the second?
Yes, wow, good memory.
Nice.
So, tell me how you feel about Chris coming back. You said you didn't wear it for 6 years, so were you bitter at him for those years?
Oh yeah, I was, especially in the Houston years. During Oklahoma City, I actually started liking him again, but then we had the Phoenix stuff, so. But once he got to San Antonio was kind of when I'm like, all right, he's gonna retire soon. Let's root for him one more time, you know. And now he's back here.
Amazing feeling. Now, you know, you've talked about how special Lob City was for you. How does it feel now having Chris retire here as an adult?
It's so cool. I mean, yeah, you just said it, but like, I grew up with this guy, and now as an adult, I get to see him retire here too. It's storybook. I love it. I wish we got to do it with Blake, but at least we got to do it with Chris.
Speaking of Blake, I was been asking people this. Chris Paul, greatest Clipper of all time, or second for you, or even lower?
Ooh, that's tough. Because my number one is Blake.
Okay. Seems to be,
I think my number two, and this might give me some heat for it, but I can't dismiss what Paul George did for us in 2020.
Wow, Paul George over Chris Paul.
I don't know. No, I'm going Chris. I'm going Chris two, Paul George.
Don't
three.
get coaxed by me.
No, but you're right though, because the other thing is, without Blake and Chris, Kawhi and PG wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I
Harden
agree.
wouldn't have happened. This wouldn't have happened. You know, so yeah, Blake and then CP.
Excited for the season?
Totally. You already know.
There we go.
How we doing, everybody? Listen, David G is already off the charts. How we feeling today? I would say our off-season has been, like, incredible, and I think they saved the most special move for last. And it really is, it goes beyond sentimentality because there's a lot of games to be played and there's a lot of gas in the tank. But a fun fact for some of you newer Clipper fans, the Clippers have had 14 straight winning seasons, which is really incredible given the fact where they came from many years ago. But you can trace it all back to December 15th, 2011. And if you remember that day, that was a day that Chris Paul was introduced the first time as a Clipper. And I am super excited to introduce him for the second time as a Clipper. Please welcome.
CP3! 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 Remember that Ric Flair?
That's right. Welcome home, Chris.
Yeah!
Welcome home.
Yeah!
2011, December, after the lockout, got a chance to come out here. Didn't know what to expect. Didn't know how old I was then. What, 26? Yeah. Life was a little different then. And was excited. Never knew all the things would have went the way that it went. And I'm just so grateful to be back and get this opportunity again. Thank you.
Yeah!
I'm not dumb enough to realize when I left it wasn't the prettiest thing. There were reasons here and there on both sides, but I think anyone in here that's lived a little bit, you live and you learn, right? You realize you can chase something, you can chase a championship, you can do all these different things, but there's nothing like your support system, your family, your friends, all this different stuff. I talked a lot about wanting to come back to play and be around my family, but one thing I've learned about myself the past 8 years, but specifically the last 6 years and living away from my wife and my kids, is that it's not just them. I'm one of the people who community is really important. Right? I said this before, and I love what I get a chance to do. Don't get it twisted. Every game y'all see, I'm gonna put my heart into that game every night. The life outside of the game, right? Life outside of the game and the community and your friends and your family and actually being able to show up, right? To be able to show up for your friends and stuff like that in your community. So I realize how important that is to me because, I play the games and I love it. And if you watch me, I play with a different type of chip on my shoulder and a passion, but there's an emptiness that I was missing. And so I'm excited to really be back here and get a chance to play for the We're excited for It's a lot of really good games. Of course, everybody remember DJ's Dome. But actually, a lot of the moments, Ryan, you there, a lot of them is the plane rides, the card games, the jokes, and the familiar faces that you see the ticket holders that you see when you're out and you go to dinner. Sharon and Joe Hernandez is sitting right here. I see you right there too. And, I hug them like every single game, right? Like people talk about like the things that you have to do before the game starts, right? Like certain guys, I hit the stanchion 3 times, right? I got all these different things that I do before the game, and one of them was I gave this lovely couple right here. I used to hug them every time before every game. And it's crazy, even since I've been gone, every time I play against the Clippers or the Lakers, they are there, and I still go up and hug them before every game. Because what you realize in doing this for a long time is that some people start out as friends and they become family. Right? And so, that's why. The thing that I've always truly appreciated about being a Clipper is that it's real fans, right? Like real fans. I ain't coming to the game just for the look, but just to show up. Like it's real fans, and I think, I didn't have to real fans going too now. But I think there's always been a sincere appreciation and love that I hope that I've always shown every time I came back as a visitor. And just know that I'm excited about this, right? Like I was saying in my interview, this being home for me since 2011, I watched as this place was being built. And I was curious, just like anybody else. I was like, man, I wonder what the locker room look like. I wonder what this looked like. I wonder what that looked like. And so to go down there before I came up here and get the chance to experience that with my family, right? When I played here up until 2017, Chris, she was 7 or 8. My daughter, I think, was 5 or 6. And so now for them to be able to commit all this stuff to memory, I can't say thank you enough.
For the Clippers, this isn't the deepest team that they've had. It's certainly in the conversation. It's a different role for you to come in. When you came in 2011, you were bringing a winning attitude and teaching the younger players how to do that. These guys have played. You played against some of these guys for 2, maybe 3 decades. Give me your thoughts on this roster. Give me your thoughts on this roster.
Man, I was saying it earlier. I was just so excited to get back home and play here. Didn't care who was on the roster once upon a time. And then once it did happen, I got a chance to see all the guys that's on the roster. Got me even more excited. I had a chance to talk to Brooke Lopez. I talked to John Collins. I'm tripping. I talked to John Collins, another Wake Forest guy. Talked to Kawhi, talked to JH. Obviously, I've known Brad for a while. But I'm just excited. And I've been a big fan of Zeus for a while. Like I said, the way life happens and whatnot, this will be a different role than I've ever had. And y'all have seen me play for a while. I'm gonna try to do better and try to smile a little bit more. I just sort of play with this type of intensity, but I'm telling you, I'm grateful. I'm gonna come out every single night, whatever that looks like, you know what I mean, and try to make sure I show up for the team.
Individually, obviously, you have literally nothing to prove. You're a first ballot Hall of Famer. You're going to go down as one of the greatest point guards to ever play. With that said, how do you come into a season like this? Like, you know, when you're in San Antonio, again, you probably had a similar role than what you did when you first started here, teaching the younger guys. You don't have to teach so much now. How do you come into this role with literally like nothing to prove to anybody?
Yeah, so what I'll say about that is something to prove to whoever. I think day in and day out, I'm trying to prove it to myself. Right? I think that's the thing, why I show up day in and day out. It ain't about, that's something that I talked to my son about this morning. I talked about self-motivation, right? So, and it's also not about showing and telling and teaching guys. I think you got to do that by the way that you show up. Yeah. And I'm planning on doing that day in and day out, whether that's practice, whether that's preparation, whatever that looks like. And so there'll be a lot of knowledge in our locker room, and I don't ever go into a situation like I know this, I know this. The coolest part about playing this long, actually, Brian, has been that I get a chance to learn from some of the younger guys. You ought to see them; they can do some of this bureau, all this stuff. I can't do it. But I love to get out there and to challenge myself and to try to become better, and that's the only way that you learn.
I've seen other interviews leading up to this where you've been asked, how many more years are you playing? How are you approaching this season? This is my last question, if you guys don't mind. How are you approaching this last season?
Yeah, I'm approaching it with a lot of excitement, right? Not necessarily thinking about what's next. I'm just trying to be in it, right? That's every single day. I'm trying to be in the moment and processing, taking it all in. This is going to be new. It's going to be new. It's going to be new for my whole crew, my family, everybody. You know, it might be 2 weeks into the season and they might be trying to get me traded. You know? I ain't been home in a while, but I'm excited about what's to come. And yeah.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
Got championships in the back for us this year?
That's the plan.
Would you like to be in a selfie with Chris Paul?
The emotions at an all-time high for Chris and for fans like myself. That was incredible. I mean, it's just like a dream come true to have Chris Paul back shedding fucking tears after this. How much he shouted out to fans, how much he talked about what this franchise and fan base means to him. I mean, the memories are endless. It's hopefully time to make some more. this is like I feel like the 13-year-old inside me is going absolutely insane. What a feel-good story. You got little Chris, not even that little anymore. I mean, he's grown so much. It's crazy. It's really insane. Chris just says all the right things, man. He's such a great spokesperson for a franchise. And it's part of what has made me so harsh on Paul George and Kawhi over the years is, you know, while Kawhi Leonard is a better player, and you can even argue peak Paul George has an argument, that like the 2021 version has an argument of being better than any Chris Paul. I'm not here for that. I'm just talking about what it means to have a player that takes that responsibility of being the man of a franchise and speaks on it and speaks on the fans. And I don't know, it's really special to have Chris back. Like, it really is amazing. A storybook ending. And like, no matter how this season goes, we're going to have my, top 2 favorite player in the history of our franchise on our team again. My God. CP3 chants are back. It's really special. It truly is. So, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate all the fans who spoke in this video. A lot of great ones. And, of course, Brian Seaman, CP3, for that presentation. So, more to come in a few days or a few weeks. I don't know. Who the hell knows what my next video is going to be. But appreciate it all. Like, subscribe. CP3 is home.